It's just like the names are fantastic, but it's can they perform to the level we know they can achieve, and I think they can. Let's find out.
For me, I'm going Windigo. These guys have a long history together. They've always been kind of in and out of teams together. They have all that synergy. And Poison, he's like the up and coming guy, the guy who's just looking nuts. We're getting into this though. There's the Betway odds. You can see that they are tipping this one slightly in favor of the guys over on North. But we're heading in to the pistol. North over on this CT site. Kierby going to be donning the defuse kit along with the flashes. That's an interesting thing to note. Not opting to have those picked up by maybe someone like Cadian, as we so often see. Normally it does fall to the IGL to have to go for the utility, but not in all cases. And Windigo, they've got utility across Bubble and Poison. That's going to give them a lot of versatility, a lot of room to maneuver here as they start to progress out towards mid. And as they head towards Ong, this is not an ideal place for the Glocks. They'll be working into a closer range. Cadian's USP now becomes a bit more dire. He has Kierby inside of the bomb sites. They're playing this bait and switch. Kierby going to try and get the attention and then hope that they just run past Cadian, but that hasn't worked. Looks like they might try the round the world strat. Ooh, Poison's been bested. That man we've been bigging up a lot. So man advantage taken for North. That's a great start. Now these smokes and flashes getting lined up, going to get thrown on in. Can Windigo get much done on the back of it?
Oh, Kierby, he's still got a flashbang to play with as well, but Windigo's own utility is flying on in. He's got to go out wide. Ships dropping the bomb, and Kierby finding 2 kills off the back of that. Even gets a chance to run back up long, be a complete nuisance to Windigo. There is a man in the corner that they have bypassed. That's Victor, but he only gets 1 for his troubles, and Kierby cleans up with a 3k at the end of the round. North able to find that pistol round underway, and it will be going the way of the Danes.
Yeah, Kierby with 3 big kills. Didn't have armor, didn't have any of the bells and whistles like the rest of his team had, but he just, he's a gamer.
He had frags, Harry.
Exactly. He had that in high supply. Another important thing to note, Poison fell early on over at Long, and I'm pretty sure it was him who had the utility alongside ships.
He had a smoke and a flash.
Yeah, that's a pretty big kill for Cadian to find, right? Because then you suddenly, that's your whole investment. You put your smokes, your flashbangs into him, you're relying on those to go in, and you lose that entire portion of your strategy. So you're forced to try and make that play happen with 1 smoke, 1 flash, and you can see it kind of blindsided Windigo, right? They just weren't ready. They didn't quite have the call they had their hearts set on.
Yeah.
And it just gets stripped away from them. Kierby's being a little shooty boy as well over towards Long, shutting everyone down. What can you do?
I think we do have a technical break really quickly, so we're going to be throwing over to a break for 1 second while we wait for that to get sorted, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. No, I got that wrong. That's on me, Harry.
I thought you did.
I heard throw to break, but I think this was just a technical pause.
Yeah, he said technical pause.
Oh, I thought yeah.
Yikes!
No, that's all my fault.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I like to keep people on their toes.
Yeah, no, exactly. And everyone makes mistakes now. There's no one that you should be keeping on your toes more than North fans. These guys have been used to heartbreak. They've been used to things looking so good and then going so wrong. So. It's good that we're keeping everyone warmed up early on, isn't it? Well, North have got off to a good start here at least. Kierby finding his footing, that is always a good sign. Moved to this team, obviously, from Astralis. That was like a real big shock when it happened. And it was like, yeah, I want to go be the star. And it's like, okay, sure. And that just hasn't really worked out for him just yet. But I'm hoping this iteration of the North roster can find success.
New year, new me, Harry.
Exactly. A new year, new North. As we head on into this, the pause comes to an end, and they're going to be over on the side of Windigo, investing a little bit of literally a flash and a PT-50. It's nothing to write home about. And they're just sitting around talking this out, figuring out what they want to be doing in the buy in the following round.
Having a grand old time. Good old existence strategy from Windigo. North.
This was the pause before there were pauses.
Yeah.
You know?
Bubble just on a bit of an excavation mission. He's just running up long. He's having a bit of a solo, fake. I don't really want to call it a fake because it's just a guy with a block running to the site.
He's a rambling man. He's gone on a bit of a walkabout. Has Bubble, but Will he draw much attention away from this B bomb site? That's the big question. 2 players here for North. This is a pretty standard round. I don't want it like big too much up. I think the best Windigo can really hope for here is getting that bomb down, get a bit of a cash injection, and silver linings, at least North are playing a very passive B side setup.
Yeah, they should get a bomb plant down. There's 3 players on A. There's a very passive setup from North, as you say. No one's inside of the bomb site, so North are aware of that. They're fine with giving away a bomb plant, but the nades may not even allow Windigo to get that bomb down, and now Valor begins to move in off the back of it. If he can get there in time, they can completely deny this, and they will do exactly that. Kiebi spraying away, and he finds 2 as well. So actually, really nice round from North. They give away the bomb plant. They give the illusion of success to Windigo, and then Double Nade comes in and slam dunk onto the site. So no bomb plant there for Windigo, no extra money, but they have got the buy regardless into round number 3. North still somewhat crippled by these early buys, a couple of Famises, a UMP. Far from perfect, but they win this round, they get those big AK upgrades, which we all love. Valdi wants to start things off very early indeed.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly does. He's already out of the fountain. He's looking to try and rain death down on it to the Windigo guys, but it ships to open things up. Already besting Cadian down in connector, and that leaves North now sitting a man down. The pressure's really going to be on because you're now forced to make one of these sites a little bit weaker, and they do choose B. That's sadly the wrong decision to make. These rotations are already coming in from A pretty thick and fast, all things considered, and that bomb yet to go down does give North a little bit of time to work with here. The issue you're going to face if you are North is there's a lot of utility left on Windigo. There's a few smokes now going down to block off a lot of these avenues back in, and yeah, the save calls come through. North just going to back off. Windigo finding themselves around, keeping 5 players alive at that. And I mean, it's all on the back of Ships and Victor finding those early couple of kills.
Yeah, we're still not going to have the AWP behind this coming up soon for North, and obviously with Windigo keeping it clean, there's no reason to buy their own up, but I am excited to see that orb field battle when we do eventually get down to that.
Hugo, you know what a Windigo is?
What?
It's a mythological creature.
Really?
It actually is, yeah. It's I don't know how accurate the game Until Dawn is. That's where a lot of my knowledge on this subject comes from. But they're like these weird, like, well, it depends on like what kind of like whose accounts of them you're like believing, because there's a lot, right? But
and they're not real.
They're like these like skeletal, not like actual skeletal, but like thinny, like sort of creatures that live up in the mountains and eat people.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. That's what Windigos are.
I feel threatened. Thank you.
I know. The more you know, man. Don't. If anyone ever says, "Want to come to my house and see my Windigo?" you say no.
Thank you.
Because if it's real, you just don't want to. You don't want to be there. And if it's not, what the hell are they inviting you around to see?
What is that, a euphemism or what?
Oh.
Ooh, I like this. So Valdez spammed through the wood part to break the hole in the door, so he can actually boost up and peek into connector from here. He will be able to get a bit of damage off, but no finishing blow with that grenade. Instead, they've already dropped in, and Victor, he's dropped Cadian. He's found the entry up onto this B site. Double down, quad down, all 4 kills coming through in just a blink of an eye. And Kiebi, he's on a bit of a run, Harry. He's faked his retreat with the smoke, and right now he's just holding for guns.
Yeah, I know what they're holding out for a hero. Kiebi can manage one. He's currently sitting 6-0, so a very good start from him. But he is just looking to save, make no mistake about it. There will be no attempt in this retake here from him. Windigo going to be tying things up early on. And the scariest part is just how clean these 2 victories have been, right? This round, they would have kept 5 players alive had they not gone hunting for Kiebi. Still 4 players surviving, you make money. That's going to be a real problem here if you're North. You look at this team, you think about how important it is that they bring those AWPs out on the likes of Cadian, Overpass, very AWP-centric map. And they just don't really have the money to do that right now.
Yeah, it's got to be that hard eco. It's got to be a 3rd round to Windigo. Give away this lead here. On the CT side of Overpass. Never really fun, but got to do what you got to do. And in fact, we've actually got a couple of pistols here and there for North. Nothing too special. Gade's actually invested fairly heavily. That's going to put him into an SMG territory when it comes down to the buy if he wants to get that utility up. Windigo already trying to take control towards short very early on. You can see that smoke being thrown from Blocker in the spawn. That cuts off the toilets, allowing them to meander up through short. They've got to care about the connector as well. Very common to see ecoing or force buying players stack up with 2 or 3 players in that connector. So they will have Bubble at the backside of it to lock it down. It's actually a triple boost from North on that B site with the 1 rifle. I like that. Set up the 1 rifle to succeed, but they will drop off very early on. Not very committed. But it's fair enough because Windigo, if you look at the map, have 4 players outside of A right now. And so this heavy rotate back from North is going to be the right call to make if they want to deal with the threat at hand.
Ooh. Yikes, that's a few missed shots there. The aim punch playing into it for Valor. Cadian trying to do what he can, does have a flashbang. Maybe make something happen, throws that out there towards Long, just past the swap ban, and only going to net him 1 kill. So, ooh, AZ, my goodness, PT50 King, he shut down 2, and AZ does love a pistol, let me tell you that. I've seen a lot of highlights of this man with pistols. He's got Gade over in the bank, but now North have to try and put their money where their mouth is. Bomb is down, and Bubble and Victor left up. Smoke goes down over at the bank, and that is just gut-wrenching if you're Gade. You've been waiting, you've been trying to time this with AZ. But there's a bit of a gap in it. Maybe they can try and do something with it. Victor trying to go toe-to-toe with AZ. He does manage to go ahead and find him, so now it's only Gade. 15 HP, do not fancy his odds, but maybe he can continue where AZ left off. He cannot, so Windigo, they keep their cool. They don't let that one slip through their fingers, and they will be picking up their 3rd round, securing the lead once again.
Yeah, that's still a great round, right? Even if you don't convert it, you know, just getting a couple of kills there not only puts Windigo's money down to an awkward spot in the future, meaning you can easily reset them, but also just gives you a couple $100 more to go for that full buy. Not a round you should be winning anyway, so bit of an icing on the cake, but North, no cakes for them. They're still down around here. They've got the buy up into this with Cadian on the AWP, dropped over from Valdit. We do finally have the AWP over on the T side as well. Poison going to be drawing that in for Windigo. And here's the AWP battle we've been waiting for, Harry. Round number 6. As we get back into this. And of course, you've got to remember, if Windigo win this round, North are back down to another eco. We likely see 5-3 off the back of that. On the flip side, if North win this, Windigo, they're fine with buying up. So North are in a very difficult spot while the scoreline may not show it. They've got to get a couple of rounds here in a row if they want to actually break the money and get back into this game with in a big way.
Well, AZ keeping an eye on Long here, does go aggressive. He's going to get flashed off. He's very lucky to be alive, and he knows it. Well, never mind, yeah. It was short-lived, his little spurt of luck. He's going to get dealt with as he tries to pull back into the toilets. I feel like I really caster cursed AZ there, but still, Kierby's lurking around on the other side of this smoke. Flash goes over, but Kierby's dodged it for the time being. Windigo going to keep on pushing forward in through mid. Now sending Bubble into connector as well, trying to keep their options open, widen their portfolio. Kierby flashed round. Here's the man in connector, so I think he decides not to go any further than that, and he does bait the peek out from Ships, but Ships finds it, so now the pressure going to fall onto Gade and Cadian.
Cadian, he's got his back covered at least. It allows him to push up in the toilets, but he's going to get blindsided from the left. Bubble's here, and Bubble is not missing. Gade's now alone, and he's getting pushed from long and short. The brunt of the push coming from a position they've not even checked. And Victor, while he will be the first man down, there's already Blocker on the site behind him, or that Ships rather. Blocker gets the kill from long, and Windigo, they just wiped the floor clean. 4-2, money again broken for North. Not the first time we've seen this, and it's got to be pistols, Harry. It's got to be a 5th round for Windigo, unless North have a real trick up their sleeve. But even throwing in early aggression up towards that party and the fountain, we saw those 2 players playing and trying to abuse the smoke there. Windigo's still so ready for it. Set up a flash, burst those players out through long, and catch AZ on the retreat. So it seems like Windigo have done their homework. They're ready for what kind of game plan North are going to throw into the CT side. And that can go a long way when you're the underdog doing the research. You know North that likely not doing as much homework on their opposition's at least play. When you are the expected victor of a game, you're typically focus on your individuals, focus on your own game, as cliche as that is. But right now, that could be coming back to haunt North. Just Eagles here. A shot from Kiebi, and he's got to give up long.
Yeah, North really relying on these Deeks to find something in this round, because Windigo have been off to a stellar start here. On Overpass, Cadian and Kiebi, along with AZ locking down the A-bomb. Site rotation comes up from Valdir as well, and that's because Gade down here toward B. He's secured short. He's spotted that no one's there, so they've taken the gamble, and now as he smokes rain on in, it's very clean cut that this is going to be the A play. Kiebi, they're not ready for him, but he's only good for one, leaving Gade in the hot seat. A 1v2 required, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, Valdi found a double in the midst of all that madness as well. They will fake the plant to try and force the push, but he pushes through on the second. Oh, that looked like a 1D. That looked like a headshot. But Gade's only going to land the body shot. Bubble gets away with 1 HP, and that is going to hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes to show you, it happens to everyone, guys. Yeah. Sometimes you just get CSGO. That's just how it is, and Gade is no exception. Oh. I'd be kicking myself if I'm here, because that looked dead on. I don't know if he took a step or if there was just a bit like of Darius in the bullet or what, but that is that's sad. Almost the play Gade, but not quite. I'm a big fan of him in this roster, so I mean, I'm a big fan of everyone. Have you realised that? I just love Counter-Strike.
Yeah. We do have that all back up in the hands of Cadian. Got to be met with poison as well, who is holding on, waiting for some aggression. Kiebi will bring it down on long. He's got the support of the AWP from Cadian, who's peeking out a little bit wider, but he might actually just go deep. He might go all the way, which is very, very dangerous considering these pushes up on short have not been working out well for North. Good dink to poison, allows them to back off safely with the flashbang. And hey, it's, it's not world ending, but damage could come back to haunt Windigo. Oh, nice.
Oh, but instantly returned. An equalizer instantly found Acadian. He's got his running shoes on. And he has been able to post himself up over on the stairs, peeking over the top of the bins down into toilet. Windigo setting up for this A play. It's all on AZ and Cadian. Cadian only with 12 HP. They do at least have 2 Molotovs to try and buy a little bit more time. This one has to come in towards long though, and they're already up and past it. AZ will not be ready for the man at bank. It's actually ships to pick him up before that. Found a Gade and Cadian.
Bomb has been planted.
In for the retake. I don't think they go. I think you just have to back away and save once again, which at this point for North, it's all well and good that they're able to hold on these rifles occasionally. They're able to keep them up, but we have to see something more than this sometime soon.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Ship's missing a bit of a sitter there, and Cadian getting away with a kill. He's got to run though. That bomb, even it being on A, it does a lot of damage, and so does Blocker, who's actually in the B site. Gade's gonna hear it. Will cover his teammates back, and Valdi, he knows poison's on long as well, and the man that's been dinked hasn't been finished off. They know one of these players is low, so poison up for the taking. He is removed, and that AWP is actually going to be gone from the hands of Windigo. So while they have the money to buy it, it's still a big investment they have to make once again. North, in the meantime, with another lost round, they're going to call in a tactical pause. Because you do have to remember, despite North actually getting all those kills in the exit, there was still a Windigo round. It's 6-2. This is a great T-side start from the Bulgarians. Have not dropped a round since their first. There's Victor, one of the oldest standing members from this roster. Top of the charts right now.
Yeah, Victor's been around for a very long time. I mean, this whole squad has, and they've been players that have always kind of been in and out playing with each other. You think back. I mean, I want to say like one of the older lineups. I remember the one was like that old E-Frag lineup.
That was like Victor and Bubble. Dreamer,
yeah, exactly, right. I was a big fan of that. Yeah, so
they were fun.
Most out, they have a lot of synergy in that sense, and that's why I'm really digging this right now. You see a lot of the stuff that they're doing is very well orchestrated. They seem to have a great idea as to how North are playing this CT side as well. You know, you think about the amount of times we've seen these aggressive pushes from North down towards the B bomb site. They very rarely found anything. In fact, sometimes they've proved to be more of a curse than a blessing for this North squad. This time, Windigo holding this default once again. 2 players keeping an eye on mid bubble, staring down connector, and Victor lying in way outside of this B bomb site just to make sure that there's no aggression from this North squad. But North have switched things up. Instead, this 2-man long hold. In due time, you imagine going to start to creep round, and there's 3 players for North inside of B. This is the most stacked site. Windigo might be about to walk right on into this stack. They've got no clue. So let's see if this is what it takes for North to pick up their 3rd round and start to get back into this game.
And they all have Molotovs as well. There's plenty of mollies left up for North. So if they can start to section off Windigo, cut them into, well, at least groups, this could make the job even easier. Flash over the top, utility starting to rain in. That's the Molotov gate. He has to smoke it down. Cadian's flash, but he still finds that first kill. Peeking back in for more, and Cadian's doubled down. He's even got the support of his team here. This stack is working wonders here for North. Bubble's doing his best to try and turn this around, but it's Ships, the only man with a kill for the T side. That will be it. North finally find a round. It's been a long time coming. But there's 3 on the CT side, and it's so important they keep all those players up as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they were going to get a victory, it had to be clean, right? Because you can't just be in that situation where you instantly get reset. It feels like in a lot of the games that you and I have cast today, that's really been the downfall of so many of these teams. There haven't really been many of these back and forth matchups. It's really been, you know, teams chaining together 4 or 5 rounds, and then the other team winning 1, and then instantly the reset comes in. The CT side is, you know, pretty horrible in that regard, very unforgiving. Especially with those new economy changes as well, it does kind of lend itself toward the T side even further. If the pistol round doesn't go your way, suddenly you can build into it a lot earlier. But regardless, focusing on this at hand now, minute 30 left on the clock. Windigo, all 5 players. A conga line over in mid. Here we go. Kyobi's looking to try and join in.
Ooh, gotta be careful. Not ready for that. Blocker peeks wide, and now we've got to worry about that A bomb site. North are already starting to send rotations back up, but they've left the site completely clear. It's actually Cadian deep on long, the only man even close by, and while they check it, knowing it's half the battle, Cadian's going to be able to take him down, and Windigo, that bomb plant can come in. Ships is tagged up. Victor's flash, but he still finds a frag behind the flashbang, and somehow Windigo are running away with this. Victor with 2, Ships following up with another, and Cadian, he's out with this round. He is running for the hills.
Yeah, but now Cadian's trying to battle Ships, and that man certainly won't be the victor. They're going to start to push on into him, though. Players all around, and Poison's in the back. It's actually the man flanking long to burst his bubble. We're all tied up 7-3. And for North now, it really is just a matter of picking their poison, right? They could go for the eco here. Partial buying down on AZ and the gang, and, you know, focusing on having a decent buy into the next. While the conservative approach is one that we know Cadian likes to play, yeah, they're going to go for it. Okay. You know, I mean, I do like that Cadian he's pretty consistent in how he calls. You know, he does like to take the more methodical approach. He likes to make sure you always have enough money for exactly what you need. Issue is, when you're staring down the barrel of a 3-8 scoreline, or what should be a 3-8 scoreline, you don't have a lot of room to work with.
It is a very difficult decision, but if you've got to look at it this way. If you're North right now and you're not winning, you know, enough rounds, going for force buys isn't going to change that. Like, you may be able to clinch 1 surprise round, but most of the time, you know, you want to rely on those rifles. You want to get that AWP in, and a lot of the time it has been unfortunate setups for North. Look at that previous round. They only have 1 player committed to A, and they get caught by the conga line of death. So, just pistols here, a 4-on-4, but again, North on the wrong side of the map at the wrong time. They trade 1 for 1, but that bomb plant is down for Windigo, and now North have to make that decision. Do we save or do we go?
Oh, the age-old question, and it looks like they're doing more going than staying. More leaving than slaying. That means they're relying on this next buy and praying over on the side of North. As it's 8-3 in favor of Windigo, it's been another pretty clean-cut round, all things considered. Still, you're taking a couple of AKs out of it with you. If you're North, that is a lot more than you initially bargained for, perhaps, going for that eco. So a buy is on the horizon for the North squad. Can they take solace in that fact? Is it going to be enough to start to carve a path back into this game? Or do Windigo keep this up and just run away with this first half?
Oh, I think they are already running away. I think even an 8-7 is pretty unaccounted for. What's up with the upsets today, Harry? We've had some crazy matchups. For those who maybe haven't been up to date with all the games so far, in the CIS minor, we had the likes of Gambit dropping down to the lower bracket earlier against probably the least experienced team in the entire minor circuit. That was, of course, Simon Gaming. And we had Valiant as well, pick up a 16-14 victory versus Mal Sports just moments ago. So if both these games, these opening group games, are upsets for EU, that could really throw a spanner in the works. And Valde, well, he's doing exactly that in this round. He's pushed up deep bubble, does catch one, but one player bypassed him and ran all the way to the spawn. Valde's still there, and I don't know if Poison's going to be aware of this. He's got his knife out, and he is not at all. Just bubble left up. He pushed, still blind. And North, they're going to be able to get away with that one. 4 rounds, 4 players surviving. Finally, a saving grace.
Yeah, that is obviously the one big advantage of taking that eco in the round prior. You pay for it in terms of giving them a round for free, but now they've had that much more to work with here. Everyone had full utility. You had the AWP on Cadian. Pretty much all the pieces of the puzzle were there. And immediately they find success when they've got everything they need.
Yeah, and not even just that, but it's such a switch up from North, from playing these really passive rounds, waiting for Windigo to execute their game plan. North just charge up down Monster and get in the face of Windigo, just again proving that, okay, we may be losing right now, but we are on paper the better team. We do have more experienced players, and North not showing any fear at least, and that's what they need to do. The aggression towards A certainly hasn't been working down towards the party and the fountain, for example. But you're throwing in a round like that down on B, you can always keep Windigo in check. The issue is if you try and do it again now, Windigo are going to default and probably be ready for that. So North have to avoid getting reset coming into this round, because that is always the fear as we head into the last couple of rounds of the half. Windigo setting up outside of B nice and early on, maybe going for a faster approach themselves.
It certainly looks like it. It certainly looks like they're picking up the pace, barreling through that smoke, pushing it towards this B. Obviously only Gade and Valde here. AZ is up on short, but the Molotov going to deny him, so that fast rotation is immediately cancelled out. Victor and at Ships shutting down the Danes left and right. AZ going to try and do what he can, but ultimately it's not enough. And in a 3-on-5, I don't know if North even try and go for this. No, they're just going to back off. That means it's 9-4 now in favor of Windigo. And your avenue to get back into this game, if you're North, is, your margin for it is really quite narrow now.
Yeah, and that's the money broken right there and then as well. So that's why they have to go for the save. There's not even a reason to contest this too heavily. They need these guns if they want to actually stay in this half.
Yeah, I mean, they could have definitely got a buy in the following, but it wouldn't have had all the bells and whistles. They could have had the AWP still on Cadian. You would have seen a hit come in maybe elsewhere as a result. I think the bigger is just they're being, quite realistic about it. It's a 3-on-5. You've got an AWP. They've already had plenty of time to get into after plants. You either just throw the 3 guns away. Maybe you get it like 10% chance you do, if that.
Yeah, especially with the way this game is going as well.
Yeah.
Being real. Like if it's 11-0, yeah, you're going to go for that. But it's 9-4. Yeah. It's not looking good.
That is one thing, you do have to give props to Cadian too. I do like that he's not someone who likes to go for any ludicrous plays. He does do it quite by the numbers.
The mathematical approach,
he likes that. Very calculated. So that's all well and good. Because right, it wasn't like a save. It's not like they lurked around a bit like so many teams do. Like that save call was immediate. Bomb goes down. Cadian just up and turns around. He's like, well, none of my business. Good night.
Issue is you can be as calculated as you want. You're still getting 9-4 by Windigo, so not a good start. But Kiebi, what is he doing? He's in T-spawn, 2 kills, and only a single trade coming out. The issue is, look how deep Victor is. He's pushed all the way up towards his A site. AZ does spot it on the jump, massively important. KD is going to flash above as well, allows AZ to peek out wide, but they've already gone past the flashbang. Victor, Molotov in his face and Ships at his feet. They don't want to continue to take the fight. AZ's getting tagged up by these nades as well, so they're just trying to wait for reinforcements. AZ has won his battle, and KD knows where Ships is as well, so AZ will dispatch of him as the second man. Poison's now the only man standing here for Windigo, and he's being flanked.
And that's a nice easy mop up for Valde, finishing the work that Kiebi and AZ started North in with a 5th round. So still a chance at a 6-9 in favour of Windigo. One perhaps silver lining about moving on to the T side is, you know, we've seen good performances from Valda and Kyobi. I don't think we can deny that. They've both been looking pretty decent thus far. You can kind of, you know, use the players that may be feeling it a bit more to try and open up these bomb sites, try and create the space, or, you know, you send in the guys who are struggling, you know, to try and open things up. And if they die, then you can trade off of them, you know, you can try and create a little bit more room for yourself over on the T side. But there is no denying that this is certainly not the half that North would have hoped for.
Not at all. Still recoverable in that second, but Windigo have certainly looked good so far. Let's see if that continues. Set up outside of B in this round. That nade. Ooh. Kaboom. Double kill from Gade. Love to see it. Victor will get the entry in the meantime, but Gade is not done with 2. He's going back in for a little bit more, and there is 4. Poison's now the only man left up, and we've got to see what he's got up his sleeve.
Well, he was the man to keep an eye on in the qualifiers for the minor. Now he's got to try and go above and beyond that. Poison edging his way up towards short. Nice flick on a Kyobi. Now just KD and Lester Best. He's hid at the back of Graffiti. Poison doesn't have any idea as to where he might reside, but he's being very methodical in his approach, checking all these angles, being very, very careful. And KD patient as ever. He's going to hear that bomb get tapped on in, so Poison won't have much time to move, if any. And there we go. He walks to the crosshair of Cadian. He holds down half the bomb site, so if he does try and cross, Cadian can land the shot, and if he doesn't, then he already knows where the bomb's been planted. But he knows that the odds are he's planted it safe behind that box, or at least towards the right side of the site. So you've immediately nullified like half the bomb site just by battening down the hatches on that one position if you're Cadian.
Yeah, great work, but still a strong half for Windigo. It's a 9-6 in their favor. We're going to be going for a very short break, and we'll be back after that for the second half, so do not go anywhere.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Well, for those of you who are just joining us, you missed a fantastic first half from Windigo. Currently sat 9-6 up over the North on Overpass. Moving into the CT side, they're going to have that 3-round advantage and a chance to get off to a good start once again. But North, we saw they were able to dig deep towards the end, chain together a couple of rounds and salvage a pretty, you know, not decent half, but a recoverable half.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a chance here, but they've got to get the pistol at the back of it, and you can see they've got a lot of utility, so a game plan up the sleeve of North. Lots of armor for Windigo on the other side of things. I like that boost as well. The issue is North are bypassing it. They're going all the way down on long, so well, this may even be heard by Bubble. It won't be spotted for the time being. He's going to have to turn around, and there it is. There's the information. North getting to bring the heat, and Bubble, it's actually the rat back down towards B. He's very aware of it. So is Victor, holding up on top of the shelf, but Poison and Bubble both find a kill apiece. Poison moves back in for 2, and right now Windigo are sitting in the advantage with the bomb dropped.
Yeah, Frazy and Katie, they're now going to try and fight to get that back. Ships is rounded the corner here in mid and catches Katie and looking the wrong way. AZ left up in a 1v3. Ouch. And before I could even really get behind him too much at all, Poison's already shut him down. Fantastic stuff from him in the pistol. A man who we've been hyping up a lot and haven't seen the most from in this initial, you know, debut game from him here thus far. But that doesn't matter, you know, you've got Ships, Victor stepping up around him. He's still coming in at a competitive 3rd on the leaderboard right now, and it's still early days in the second half, so let's see if he can continue to deliver what we saw in the minor qualifiers.
Yeah, it's a good start. It's an attempt at least, and with 10 rounds to 6, it doesn't matter who's stepping up. You've still got a fairly dominant scoreline right here, considering the fact that they're about to be 11, assuming North don't win a full P250 round, and I would not bet on that. Already Ships is confidently fighting the depths of B Monster as well. AZ's just holding on as the rest of his team rally back towards A. Windigo with not a single M4, very focused on his 2 SMGs as well. Wanting to make money early on into this CT side. So North, they're creeping their way up towards short, trying to take the safe site, but you know, a smoke, couple of flashes, good luck actually warding off these Windigo players. They want to take these range fights. They know that North don't have the weaponry to contend, so nade, that might even get a couple of kills. Ooh.
No kills, but it certainly is a chunky little nade. Tagging up AZ, Valda, and Kirby in the explosion of that. And yeah, from here on in, North going to be throwing out the utility they've got. They've got 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs. Maybe you can use the flash to get in close and find a couple of these players inside of the A bomb site. You're not anticipating a win here, especially not with 3 players stacked up inside of A for Windigo.
Nice.
Poison. Well, he's certainly arriving now, but Gade always made this possible into the 1v2. Bomb retrieved, 25 seconds, and he's running for the hills. He's heading back down towards that B bomb site. Victor's got his running shoes on, but no, it's a fake. He's back up into the toilets, and Gade.
Oh, I like the attempt. I like the attempt from Gade.
Very close, and I like, you know, the attempt at faking that. Runs back. They hear him running away. It's cool as well from the death cam, you would imagine. So nice attempt, as you say. Does fall short. The lack of the armor really going to come back to punish him there. He dies in 1 shot to the MP9 to the head, despite headshotting Victor as well. So he almost gets it. Almost Gade, but not quite.
Well, hey, good enough. It hurts the money from Windigo in the future. It was a P250 round after all, so 3 kills, that'll be fine. If they win this rifle round, Windigo are broken. But Poison, he really is on a tear. He had a 3K on the pistol, a 4K on the second one. So if my maths is correct, this is where he aces.
I mean, let's see, right? It's funny because coming into the second half, right, he was
bottom of the board after the first half.
He had 7 kills.
6 after the first
6,
half.
rather, yeah, sorry. And he's already managed 8. So
nice.
He's doing pretty good, his old Poison over here on the CT side. North going to turn their attention toward B. The issue is 2 players here for Windigo, and even a 3rd rotating down in the form of Blocker, leaving Poison just a solo anchor A. That is a lot of faith put in him, but it's the right call to make. 3 players North grouped up over here at short, and they're about to go walking in to an even fight.
This is going to be very, very difficult. Victor's already found himself one as well, and damage to the second. AZ gets cleaned up from long, and that's when Blocker wide strafes, but it doesn't even matter. Ships found 2. And Windigo, they find 12, double that of North. We talked about, you know, okay, the half wasn't great. They got 6 rounds. It was salvageable. This is getting out of control now. Like, it's salvageable to an extent, but you actually need to win the rounds to pull that comeback. And right now, it's flawless for Windigo in the second half. 3 in a row. Pistols out for North. 13 on the horizon here for the Bulgarians. And what an upset this would be, Harry. You put Poison back on the AWP and look at him start. Oh.
Well, it ends almost as quickly as it began for Poison. Val, they're going to follow up. So they managed to salvage a couple of weapons here. Up on the back of Valde now. Could get thrown onto Cadian if they would like, but you imagine Valde keeps it because he's a little bit tagged up. Blocker. This is big. He's in between the both. Cadian is keeping an eye on it, but he's... Ooh, Blocker knows he doesn't want to stick around here very long. Not with AZ down in connector. 3 on 3, so he can't really afford to test the waters anymore. And he also doesn't have an eye on long. Instead, he's relying on ships to cover this portion of the map, which is going to be a little bit hard-pressed to do from the stairs. 45 seconds in North, still just taking their time. Still eyes fixated on this A-bomb site. Hoping that someone from Windigo rotates off, but they're just not budging. They're just as stubborn as the North guys are as they stand their ground.
I'd like to see Valde give his gun over to AZ as well. There it is. Full HP on AZ. Makes a lot of sense. Send Valde in first as kind of the point man to just get the information, and they can trade him. 15 seconds left up now, but the signal has been alerted. It's very clearly going to be an A play. Ships is fully blind. He runs forward through the Molotov to his death, and Blocker, he delivers 2 kills as well. 7 seconds left. Victor might even be able to stop this bomb plant, but Cadian, he's found a shot. He's off the bomb, and Victor's dived through. So close, but yet so far for Cadian. Windigo are able to get it by the skin of their teeth, but that was such a close round. Really nice round from Cadian.
Yeah, he gets it so close down to the wire once again.
And he even had time for that bomb plant. That's the biggest factor. Just
by like half a second.
Yeah, but he got off it to take the fight because obviously he assumed that last player would run through the smoke, and rightly so, just couldn't connect that shot at such a close range. Give him a rifle and maybe he hits that. Dear, oh dear, that's such a hard round to lose. But again, you have to look in the side that, okay, it wasn't eco and we get it down to the 1v1, but at 13-6, close is not good enough. You need those round wins no matter what you came into the round with.
The thing that was a bit of a shame as well is they tried to do that A side take a little bit faster. It was Valde throwing in that smoke, but he accidentally picked up the AK that he was meant to throw to AZ, right? So he ended up with the CZ and the AK, so they had to spend time juggling those guns around again. And, you know, that left him with very little time. You notice there wasn't time to check angles. You didn't have any time to, you know... I mean, you look at it, right? The rotation's already started because the smokes had rained in. And with only 10 seconds left, Windigo knew what was going on. It was very telegraphed. Had it been a bit faster, maybe it was a different story, because then you get to that bomb site before Victor as well. So who knows? Let's not dawn on maybes, though. Let's instead focus on what we know. 4 players down here toward B for Windigo in this round. They try and take short control early on, and they get it. But now backing away. Even just 2 players down here at B. Cadian comes rotating around. Almost all the North Force, rather, grouped up outside of Monster, all with the exception of Kirby.
Windigo still pretty confident on this A setup after just getting short control on B. No other information. It's a bit of a gamble, but right now, not looking like it's going to pay off. North are poised perfectly for this execute, and Chips, he's got to go absolutely monstrous. Already spraying down the first gate, going to get shut down, and we actually do see Kirby pick up a kill over on A. That only sells this fake further for North, this, well, quote-unquote fake, but instead they rotate back up off the back of that kill as Windigo rotate down. It's a bit of a mess right now for both teams. No one knows truly where the opposition is set up, but 20 seconds left. North need to commit towards the A site. And already Poison's beginning to rotate back up with that orb.
But Easy keeping an eye on Connector. He's dropped him, and now the bomb heads back toward this B-bomb site. Poison him with another, and Victor's here. Oh no, that's Easy dealt with. There's only 7 seconds. The bomb has to go down, and Victor's trying to deny it. Cadian's not watching it. Cadian's too shallow, round through short, and that's the round all said and done. 14-6 is Victor. Oh, off the time. Oh no, Cadian. And from now, I mean, this looks pretty done. It's going to be a pretty monumental effort for North if they want to get back into this. They haven't really shown us anything yet to find around on their T side.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was about to say. It's been an entire half without a round yet, and this game's almost done, Harry. Fighting after time. Dear, oh dear. Poison, though, certainly has shown up on the CT side. That's one big factor as well. I mean, not only just the early start into this half where, you know, big pistol round, big second follow-up round, but just keeping up every single round, getting a kill or two. Victor as well, 19 kills on him. Probably one of the most experienced Bulgarian players there is right now in CSGO. So it's nice to see him topping the charts here for Windigo in a big upset victory over North, right? We know that North have certainly had their trouble with this roster, but this is a little bit more dire than expected. Cadian with literally $150. He gets dropped to P250. Tough luck for him. A couple of rifles and a UMP over on Gade. What have North got for us here? Looking like an early B play. We've got Cadian holding on to the bottom of Connector. Blocker. He's already got the info, and the nades have done the damage. Valdi's tagged. Kiebi's down to 80. Windigo keeping up the heat, keeping up the pressure. Poison, gonna hear these footsteps, but Cadian trying to chase him down, trying to get revenge on that previous round, will not be able to do so. And already starting things off in the hands of Windigo.
I mean, it looks like desperation to this shot. They're just going to try an all-out push toward this B-bomb site, perhaps. You have 4 players grouped up here. You've already kind of whittled through most of your utilities, so you've only got that 1 smoke, 1 Molotov, and 2 flashbangs to try and work with. That does leave you very limited in terms of your options anywhere on the map. North at this point hoping that somewhere the Windigo defense gives, and this might be it. Victor goes pushing down through long, and they were just trying to assemble a boost, and now they're caught out of position. Ships only good for 1. Blocker doing what he can, and AZ's now chimed in with another. Blocker can't deny the bomb plant this time around, and he's going to get flashed off at the angle. A 3-on-3, but Bubbles there, and now Valder and AZ left standing have to try and dig deep for North.
Oh, but AZ's so low, an easy kill for Blocker to steal away, and Valde, he's surely got no chance here with 3 players honed in on the angle. They're ready for it. They tap the bomb, they go back in for the fight, and just like that, it's 15 rounds here on Overpass for Windigo on a best-of-1 group opening matchup as well. Loser of this going to be going down to the lower part of the bracket, and that is just never fun, Harry. Never fun indeed. Going to be facing off against Space Soldiers as well. Loser of their game versus Ent. So pretty terrifying times ahead of us, Harry, for what I can only assume is going to be North at this point. I don't know how this game would turn around. 15-6. We've got the rifles in for North. We've got the full buy, but yet to get a T-side round.
And that's a very sad sight to see. I think even if you are a Windigo fan, you would love to see a bit more out of North just because of the names within this team, right? I mean, when they were kind of piecing it together slowly but surely, I was so excited. You bring in Cadian, who'd been working out in NA, kind of grinding to become an IGL role that he'd never really done before. You know, you bring in Kiebi from Astralis, you bring in Gade. You already had Valder and AZ inside of this squad to begin with, so it was fantastic there. It feels like they should be doing more, but Windigo have just had their name and number in every single one of these rounds. They just seem so ready for anything that North are out there. You think about all the fakes that North have tried to throw, all these kind of really grand avant-garde strats, and Windigo have been on the bullet every time.
Not much utility for Windigo in this round. They've used a lot early on. They still have a couple of smokes left up and some HEs, but by and large, something North can exploit here. One of the few positives to take away of this round. 38 seconds And already looking like a bit of a B execute as well. There's all the nades gone. 1 HE left up for Windigo. So this is the best situation for North they've been in a while, but they can't even catch the aggressing bubble. Cadian moving to his right as the peak comes through. Awful timing there. Victor lining up another one. Ships defending the tunnel, but he turns back around. AZ gets that opening kill. And now North, well, there's still a man down. They've got an opportunity. It's been stripped away by Poison. 10 seconds left up. AZ in the open. Poison to his side. Bubble up in the heaven. And it's a cold day in hell. North going to get 16-6 sent down to that elimination game over in group number B, or number B, letter B. And Windigo, what a dominant start to the IEM Katowice Minors 2019.
Yeah, it's not like this was a close game where they grinded it out over time. This was dominance, right? That first half, it goes 9-6 in favor of Windigo, and you're like, okay, this is where North just started to build back into it, make a more competitive game. But their T side, nothing, like literally nothing, didn't manage a single round. So that's pretty gut-wrenching, I think, especially when you kind of looked. I mean, I was hoping that we would have seen Kierby and Valde, making some space for the team. Those guys are having a pretty good time of things. But, I mean, the rest of the squad just weren't really there to support them this time around.
Definitely just lacking the stars, right? Gade top fragging the entire map for North there. And like, obviously not to bash on Gade, but if Gade's top fragging and you're losing the game, that's because your stars haven't shown up. That's because you haven't had your Kierbys, you haven't had your Valdes, your AZs. Find the performance that they need to have if you're going to win these games. And on paper, I'm sure Windigo have been working hard over this December break, but that's a game you should be winning if you're North. That's not one you can let slip through.
And I think, the reason why even then that first half was so much closer than the second, I think, was largely just because of the absence of Poison, right? Like, he was struggling a lot first half, finishes with 6 kills. And then heading into that second half, because Cadian was struggling too, right? I think he finished bottom of the board in the end. Maybe not. I think our hub was actually
third to bottom, but the kill distribution is pretty close.
So, he wasn't having like the best of games, and then Poison, meanwhile, slow first half, similar to Cadian, so it allows them to kind of battle out. Second half, Poison just comes into his own, lays waste to them, makes it look easy.
Top of the server.
Yeah, and there was no one to answer back over on the side of North. That's kind of the real problem. Let's take a look at the bracket, though. We spoke a lot, we've talked a lot. I think it's about time that we try and wrap up this matchup at least. We could take a look at this Group B bracket. We just saw it was Windigo 16-6ing North, so that's the wrong way around, but that's all good. Slight difference. You guys just watched it. If you've already forgotten, I fear for you. And then we saw ENCE pick up the victory versus X-Space Soldiers early on. So we have Windigo versus ENCE as our Group B winners match, and North versus X-Space Soldiers down in that lower bracket.
This is really, both these groups have now really been thrown into a whirlwind in the EU side of things. Yeah. CIS has been mostly to plan with a couple of upsets, but this has been pretty crazy now. Mouse Sports Optic are going to be fighting off in the elimination game in Group A, and now, North Space Soldiers or X-Space Soldiers in Group B. Pretty crazy stuff. I think a lot of people predicted the X-Space Soldiers to lose that game versus ENCE, but I think, this was the big surprise of this group. So I don't even know where we go from there. I don't even know who picks up that victory in the bottom game.
No, that's going to be a completely different beast to contend with, right? If you're North and if you're X-Space Soldiers, both teams not in similar positions, but both in like a position where they're certainly looking weaker than what we're used to, but for different reasons, right? Like North, it's a team where individually all these players are super high skilled, but it's just not quite meshing for whatever reason. And then over on the side of Space Soldiers, obviously they just had their star player taken away, so it's like a whole new roster for them. So that's why maybe that one's just going to be very up in the air. I'm not sure.
It's going to be a messy game.
It will indeed. But I tell you what, Hugo, I think people are sick and tired of hearing our voices just for the time being.
Don't blame me.
Yeah, we'll be back with the next series, best of 3, after the break. So don't go anywhere.